So today's video is page 32 of the Discover Graphics book, and it's question 2, which is the Toyota Corolla car. All right, so this is under the chapter of angles. It's all about our angles. Okay, so our simple enough structure would be the body, okay, and then around the windows is when we get our angles all tipping in here. Okay, so that'll be the bit of work with that, and then we'll have 2 tires, which is compass work as well. Okay, so a little bit of compass work and a little bit of protractor work, and then this 75 we're going to do it in the same approach as we did for the plane as well, using our 2 set squares together. All right, so it's a long enough object. Okay, so overall it's 250 and it's about 80-ish up. Okay, 75, 80-ish up. All right, so give yourself the room. So what we're going to do is, I'll pop this back for 2 seconds. We're going to start with the base line here, the bottom of the car here. That's where we're going to start. And we're going to do that nice and light for construction. Okay, so construction line first, nice and light across the page. Okay, I'll make it a little bit darker so you'll be able to see it in the video. Alright, and what we'll do is we'll make that 240 long first of all. So I'll put a dot at my 0, and I'll put a dot at my 240. Okay, and what we're going to do along this line, we're also going to pop in the distance to get to our wheels. So from the back here, it tells us it's over 55. And from the front back, it tells us it's back 40 millimeters. Now, okay, so we're going to just do a little vertical line there, because somewhere along this, we'll have the center point for our wheels, our circle. So our circles. Excuse me. All right, so the base along here. So we start with the base of the car. Now we're going to step up 20 millimeters. So pop up 20 millimeters in. So that would be the grey portion now, and we're going to complete that grey portion now. So we stepped up 20 millimeters. We're going to bring another light line across. Okay. Again, I'll just darken that up a little bit more so you can see it. So this is our grey portion here. We have our 2 points there. Now, what we're going to do from the 2 original points, the 0 and the 240, we're going to step 5 millimeters out. So we're going to step back 5 millimeters to the left, and over here we're going to step 5 millimeters to the right. And you're going to bring them nice and lightly, you're going to bring them up to here. And we're going to bring the front one up to there. So what we have is we have a slight slope on the front, a slight slope on the back. And you can join them together. So just to go back on that again, here was the start of my original line, the 0 to 240, and I just stepped 5 millimeters out either side, and I projected them up to our line above. Okay, and I put them in heavy because that's the front bumper and the back of it. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do the white portion next. So we won't heavy any of this in just yet. We'll pop that in a minute. Now, we're going to do the white portion next. So I'm going to project this 5mm that we have down here. I'm going to bring that nice and light up to there. Up to the top of this original line here. Now, the height of our white portion is up 20 millimeters. So I'm going to step up 20 millimeters. And we're going to pop a light line across there again. Now, it doesn't need to go the whole way because the bonnet kicks down a little bit. Alright, now I'm going to bring up the bottom piece here, the 240, I'm going to bring that up to there, to a grey portion, because that's where the front of this car is going to be, and that's giving us a height of 8 millimeters. So I'm going to bring that up nice and light. Well, actually, you can bring it up heavy there, the front piece there, up 8 millimeters from the front. Now, so here we have the back corner. Now this goes at a slope coming in to the right, so it's going up to the right, and it tells us the distance over is 5 millimeters. So from here I'm going to step over 5 millimeters, I'm going to project that up to that top line I have up here. And I can heavy that now down to there. So I can heavy that down to there. Alright, so that's my slope because I went step back in 5, brought it up. Now, what we're going to do is there's a straight line here and then it slopes down. So they've given us 2 measurements there, so they tell us it's 80 millimeters over to here. And what that there is, it's going to give us where the door or the window is. And another 80 will give us to the front of that window. And what you can do then is you can actually join that to the front of the car. Like so. And we'll heavy in this little line here as well. That just goes underneath the windows there. Alright. Look, it's all coming together. Slowly get there. Now, we're going to do our window. So we're nearly there now. We just have the windows to do, the 2 tires, and then heavy in the grey portion on the bottom. Okay. Now, it tells us it's sloping at the back here 20 degrees. So what you're going to do is you're going to get your protractor. So you've got the crosshairs in the center here, that little dot. We're going to put that onto the corner here. So we're going to bring up the crosshairs to the center there. And we're going to line up the base line here that says 0, 180. We're going to line up that, and we're going to have it sitting on top of this long line here, this horizontal line here, okay? So the crosshairs on that, rest your line on this surface, and you're going to put a dot at 20. So it's going to go 10, 20. So you can see the markers on it, 0, 10, 20, 30. And we're going to put a dot at 20 degrees. What we'll do then is, we'll get that dot we had at 20 degrees, nice and light from here, we're going to bring it out. Now we're not having anything yet, we're just going to bring that up nice and light. Now it tells us the distance from here, the top of the white, up to the top of the windows. So 25 millimeters. So we're going to step up 25 millimeters. And we're going to pop in that horizontal line across. And what that's going to give us, and what that's after finding for us, is where this stops. This back of the window stops. A 20-degree line we popped in, so we can actually heavy that in then. Now, what we'll do then, the front of the window, the front window goes back 25 degrees. So what you're going to do is repeat it again. Take the crosshairs. We're going to put that on the front, this corner point here, front of that. Rest your 0, 180 along the line here. And it's 25 degrees this time. So we've got 10, 20, and then we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the middle. Put a dot there, 25. And we'll join this front portion to the 25 line, and you can extend it up, and you can actually put that in heavy as well. What we'll do then is we'll close off the top. Almost there now. Now the last line that has an angle is this portion here, this divide between the 2 windows, and that goes at 75 degrees. So to do it the way they do it in the book, we have our T-square, we have our set square, and we rest it on our T-square, so we have the 30 degrees here on our left hand side. We're going to add 45 degrees to it by sticking down on top. So we're going to add 45 degrees to our 30 degrees to give us 75 degrees. I'm going to pop that in and put that in heavy there. Now, very close to being finished. It's just 2 wheels left. Alright, so that's all the top portion. Now we're going to go back to the bottom again. Now it tells us to get to the center of the wheel, from the base of the car, we're going to measure up 8 millimeters. Put a dot up there, so we're going to measure up 8 millimeters here. Go to the front, same thing, up 8 millimeters there. So that's on our original lines from earlier on. Stepped up 8 and 8. And it tells us the circles, the wheels, are radius 18. So what I do is I put a 0, I put a mark just anywhere on the page. I'm going to put a mark where the 0 is, I'm going to call that 0. And I'm going to put a mark where my 18 is there on my ruler, my set square. I'm going to go 18. So that is our radius 18. Now, I'll get my compass. I'll put the steel bit here at 0. And I'll move my lead back to the 18 there. Make a little arc. Now, we can put our steel on the dot we just found a minute ago, which is there. And we can swing in our wheels there. That's one. Same radius for the front wheel. And that is 2. Now, last but not least, we now know what we can heavy in. Because obviously the piece that goes, we don't want to heavy in the bit going through the wheel. But you can't see through the wheel. So we'll heavy those little bits in. So you heavy as far as the wheel, skip the wheel, heavy again, skip the wheel, heavy again. Alright, and there is your car. So that is page 32, question 2.